Welcome to a hopefully quick overview of the plugin eggScreenComp. This is kind of the plugin, the effect that is you treat as a last resort. Hopefully you don't need to use it, but it's there in case you do. It's a little bit more extensive, so I'm not going to go over each individual step by step. I'm just going to kind of show you what I did exactly instead of showing you every step along the way. So I'm just going to turn it off here for a second. What I started with was I imported the green screen, applied the screen fix, then I applied eggScreen Pro, set the matte, but I did not change it to the despill or the transparency at all. Instead, I took the entire group, duplicated it, and then changed the copy of eggScreen Pro to show the despill, and deleted the screen fix. The despill was then correctly set so that you see this nice evenly neutrally balanced image here, and then eggScreenComp was applied. It wasn't quite that simple, magic, here's the foreground and background. Along the way, since the eggScreen Pro is applied to the entire group here, the screen fix plate is also affected by the despill. So that I exported out, saved as a ping, then re-imported it, and I can now use that as a clean background in the eggScreenComp. So now, going over the eggScreenComp options here, you take the matte, the group that has the matte, and you drop that in here. The background, I dropped in here. And then finally, you can decide whether you want the processed foreground or traditional. If you use traditional and don't use any of these other options yet, it'll be just the same as if you use the final transparency on the eggScreenComp. Processed foreground composites the two images together in a slightly different way, but it requires that you have the clean background. Or if you don't have the clean background, you can choose the background color. However, it's not going to be as clean of an image as if you have the actual background image. So once you decide between these two processes, I'm going to just focus on the processed foreground because that's the most radically different. You can use the add mix, the light wrap, or the edge blend to kind of bring your edges in a little more realistic way here. The add mix, what that will do is if you look at the background, wrong one, the matted background here, if I change the background matte gamma or white point or different things like that, you can see how it affects the background part of the matte here. If you're curious about all the math that goes into this and how it actually works, I highly recommend checking out Digital Compositing for Film and Video by Steve Wright. If you don't want to do that, then you can just play with the sliders until it looks right. So, anyways, you can use add mix. It's not really necessary for this particular composition. You can set light wrap from it within here, and we'll set this back on the final comp here so you can see the light wrap. It's a little strong at the moment, and we'll turn down the opacity. And I like lighten better for this one. And then finally, the edge blend, which what that does is it kind of blends the edges around the image a little bit better than what would normally happen. But once again, this is a last resort type of plugin. Hopefully you won't need to use it. Sometimes you will, sometimes you might not. Hopefully you won't. But you play with these sliders until you got your edge looking about the way you want it to, and there you have your composition. Now the thing is, this plugin flattens the entire composition, the entire project down into this one layer. So you have to have all the animations and everything pre-comped before you bring them into this plugin. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you get going strong. Quick mention of credits here. All of the plugin logos were designed by the wonderfully talented Megan Bjornstad. If you are in the market for any sort of design work, I would highly recommend checking out her site at meganbjornstad.com and contact her through that. Additionally, all green screen footage was provided by the Hollywood Camera Work website, which is hollywoodcamerawork, that's all one word, .us. Head over there and check out what training they have to offer in addition to the sample green screen plates they have.